All right. Welcome to another video. Ladies and gents, mostly gents, I would imagine, of the like 15 people who are subscribed to me or whatever, but it's cool. I don't even worry about it. Just leaving the gym, I had some squats and some back work, and you never feel better than leaving the gym. You know, you put in that wook, put in a little bit of work that you just keep showing up, you just keep putting one foot in front of the other, it will pay dividends. And it pays dividends immediately as soon as you leave the gym, but then also cumulatively, it compounds over the weeks and months and years. You just feel good, you operate good, you got more energy, you got more strength, you're faster, all that stuff. This is quickly turning into a transitionary period for me. And, you work so hard to create some stability and get some systems in place. And, okay, I can rely on that. That's good. I can rely on this system. I got a system for this. And then something happens and all of a sudden you got to uproot everything and figure it all out. And, when you look into the Chinese astrology, this year, 2026, is the year of the fire horse. Now, what does that mean? That means that this is the year to grind, to put your head down and grind. So the horse work, right? You're putting your head down, you're just moving forward, one foot in front of the other, working towards some goal or accomplishment that you have. The other piece is the fire, and that's where iron gets forged. That's where the dead wood burns off and leaves a nice healthy forest. This is the year of honing in your focus, dropping the distractions, asking yourself, does this thing, this behavior, this person, this habit, this thought even, does this benefit me? Does this get me closer to my goals? If not, get it out. Get it out. Be ruthless. Burn it off. Because life, although it feels long, it's way too short to be putting up with BS. It really is. So, for the last little while, I've been living with my father in an effort to save money, but most importantly, to be within the vicinity of a volunteer fire department. And that was kind of my reasoning the whole time. And now it's just a lot of butting heads. Of course, Father's Day is coming up in just a couple of days. And we kind of got into it last night, and it's left a bit of a sour taste in my mouth, and I'm sure in his. And it's just, when you just analyze it objectively, it's just a mismatch of needs and communication styles, and we trigger each other too much. And so the best course of action is for me to move on and move out. So I got to find a place. I'm going on, let's say, a mini vacation for a few days, going to a different province to see my mom and my family, and then my girlfriend, she's got this thing, and meet her family. So it's, it's very exciting. And but it comes with its own stressors. You gotta work out the logistics and the planning and all that. But in the grand scheme of things, it's pretty, it's small potatoes, so I'm not too worried about it. But once I get back, there's a pretty tight timeline where I've got to work a bunch, and then I've got to figure out my living arrangements. But I know that I've been putting off this decision for a very long time, and us butting heads is just accelerating that stress that I have to take on to figure out my living arrangement. So I will do that, and I will benefit because of it. I'll have my own space. I don't know what it's going to look like yet. I might have to rent a room in a house and live with other people. Maybe I'll get lucky, find something on my own, of course at a premium. But when you look at the grand scheme of things, we're so weird with how we think about money and spending and expenses. You'd say, oh gosh, I wouldn't pay for that for an apartment or whatever. But if it gets you to where you want to go, then ultimately it's worth it. Ultimately, it's kind of priceless in that regard if it gets you to the goal. And I have some firm goals in my head that I'm working towards, and this is just the next necessary step that I've been putting off, and that's my own failure and shortcoming to not have done this sooner before it got this bad. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? All right, take it easy. But so change is good. You know, it sucks because it disrupts our whole nervous system and our regulatory system of, you know, the ego's comfortable and, oh, I got into a routine and, you know, I don't have to do so much here. I got this set up here, but all right, now I got to take on a little bit more. And this is the fire part, you know, where once you take on more of that responsibility, it's the same with training. Now certain things have to line up for that to happen. So if that's got to happen, all right, well, these other things got to change too. And I have to adapt. And it's this weird place where I'm looking forward to the suffering because I know that I'll be forged by it and I'll be a better person because of it. And I'm very resistant to these type of things. I know that to my nature. I think it's in most of our nature to be resistant to change and to hardship. But ultimately, consciously, I know that I'll be better off because of it. It's just like the gym. You know, it sucks when you're in there. You know, it's stressful and it's taxing, but you show up enough, you start to see the benefits and you realize, oh, it's not so bad. Not that it's not so bad. It's actually pretty good. And things start to pay off and you go, oh, okay, well, you know, can I do this with other parts of my life? That's why I think the gym is so important. And that's what I'm in the process of doing now. So yeah, things are lining up, you know, even if things were shit, like even if things were truly bad, I don't think, one, I could admit that to myself and speak negatively. But two, I think I just have to speak positively on my circumstances and understand that all of these things are happening for my ultimate success and the win. You got to be delusional in that respect. And I don't care about the World Cup going on. I don't care about the playoffs in that sport. I don't care about celebrity gossip. I don't even care anymore about memes or, you know, I know you got to have fun, you got to balance things out, and I understand that, but I don't need that. That's not a part of my story of where I'm going. It's all wasting time. That's, you know, once I start to see some positive momentum in the direction that I want, okay, well, then maybe I can start to reincorporate some of those things. And spend some time, you know, talking about those things or worried about those things or whatever. But right now it serves no purpose, and really it's just serving as an excuse. And when I look at my time, like when you really sit down and audit where your attention is going, the social media, oh, it's bad. It's bad. And what benefit is it bringing me? A little bit of dopamine, right? And some novelty and some excitement that really means nothing. It's not even the same as playing a video game. In a video game, at least you're engaged. You know, you got to problem solve and you got to think and you got to, you know, react quickly. But just passively scrolling, you're just mindless. You're sucked into this black mirror. And that's why they made that show about it. It's like, it's a black hole. It sucks everything in. It does reflect certain pieces of you, and that's why it's stimulating. But, you know, so, and I think this is good for me, even though I could look at it and be like, oh God, I got to pay $1,000 easy for rent somewhere now, which is a huge increase. Now I've got to worry about cooking and, all my own dishes and all my own laundry and cleaning and, you know, all these other expenses. But it's so important to focus on, one, the positives, and two, the things that you can do and control. So the positives, it's like, well, I'll be closer to my work. I'll be closer to the gym. So I'll be working more. I'll be working out more. pay less on gas, you know, and I'll be closer to friends. So maybe I'll have more time to do things with my friends as opposed to having to line everything up perfectly because I got a 45-minute drive to get there, all this stuff. So, you know, it's so important, even though like it's so easy to get stuck in our own narrative, especially where we're so disconnected from most people in our lives, that very few of us actually have close people that we can share these things with and work it out with. And I'm very fortunate to have some friends like that. But it's very easy to get caught up in this narrative that is so negative. It's so doom and gloom and comparing our lives to others. And I'm not where he's at. I don't have what she has or whatever. And you just gotta, the gym is just such a great reset to refocus and go, you know, it's not so bad. You know, my life's pretty good. I just went in there and squatted 340 pounds, you know, 9 times. And it felt good. Yeah, it was hard. But I know ultimately it's good for me. And these other problems about money and about logistics, and that'll all sort itself out in time, right? And so just stay focused, stay grounded, you know, pick a goal that's worthy, you know, it's worthy of the sacrifice that it's going to take, because everything has a price. And you got to really look at it. And a lot of things, no, you can't know what that price is until you start to work towards it. You start to pay it and you go, oh shit, like this is a little crazy. But you know, you're committed. That's how you show that you're committed. When God throws those curveballs and he's like, you didn't, it's not what you thought it was. And you're like, all right, that's cool. I'm going to keep working towards it. And I don't care how long it takes. I'll keep moving forward. And you know, there's so many people who have mantras like that, like Cameron Haynes, keep hammering. You just got to keep going, man. That's it. One foot in front of the other. And it's a doomy, gloomy day outside, rain and fog and overcast and all that crap, but that doesn't even matter, you know? Yeah, this day or this moment or whatever, that sucked, but the next one, it's gonna be good, right? The next thing, and that I think is the biggest challenge that I'm working through now, is simultaneously looking forward, looking ahead, being excited about the future and the next step, but also being present, being aware, being focused, cognizant of others in my life and their needs. And, you know, because ultimately it's not about me, you know, I understand that. That's how you make a worthy sacrifices and create meaning in your life, is you do something for other people. And that's what my career is focused around. That's partly what I try to do with these YouTube videos. And just share the wealth, right? Sharing is caring. So anyways, it was a good day, good session. I have a lot of work to do. I got to organize, you know, finish up some laundry and pack and get ready for this trip. And then when I come back, I got to sell off some things and give away some things and put some stuff in the trash to lighten up the load of what I have to move. And that'll be interesting, having to decide, okay, what do I need versus what do I want? And I have a lot of attachment to things, so having to part with those things. But it's all good, man. It's all good. You know, one step ahead of the next. One step in front of the next. Who cares? And take pleasure in the little things too, you know? If it's a Boston cream donut that gets you through the day, what the hell? You know, that's not going to destroy your health. You got everything else in line. You get a Boston cream donut. Who cares, right? Or set a little timer for yourself and do a little bit of scrolling, you know, or some mindless game, you know, Flappy Bird, or what is it? I want to say Captain Crunch. It's not Captain Crunch. That's a cereal. It definitely starts with a C. Castle. I don't know. You know that one where you got the base. I was just talking about it with my buddy earlier. Anyways, you know, the yellow Viking, blonde-haired guy. You know, whatever. Have those small wins, that little bit of something that doesn't hurt, right? It's when you get lost in it. It's when you get the 6-pack or the 12-pack of donuts every day. Clash of Clans, that's what I was looking for. It's when you spend 4 hours a day on Clash of Clans and you're not reading your books, you're not going to the gym, you're not blah, blah, blah. You know, that's when it starts to, so, but no, I'm making big strides, baby. You know, we're 30 now. Snap. You know, we've been out here and it's different. It's weird. There's no one like us, this generation, who grew up in part of the old world, you know, born in the 90s. You came from VHSs and DVDs and cereal boxes and all that crap, and then you come to and dial-up internet. Then you come to the modern world now. You're supposed to be matured and responsible and grown, and you know, you have difficulty just doing the basics, just going out for drinks, or you know, finding a job that you don't actually want to shoot yourself in the face, you know? I know it's an exaggeration, but so yeah, man, give yourself some grace. Like you're doing pretty good. Look at what you're doing well and say, oh, well, you know, if you have both your parents, well, I got my parents, you know, or if you got your fitness all right, it's like, oh, well, I got some fitness, you know, or you got a friend, you got one friend. Well, I got a friend, you know, and that's worth something. Whatever it is, look at the positives. That's the main thing. And I know it's tough, and I get there half the time. I'm like, fuck this sucks, you know, get me out of here. But those are just internal signals telling you, all right, we got to make a change here. And you can't play the victim and blame other people and make excuses. Oh, it's his fault. Oh, it's her fault. You know, it's because they treated me this way or they said this thing. People in your life are just a reflection of you. They're just showing you parts of yourself that you haven't developed yet, or you haven't learned to cope with yet, or express or integrate, right? So just look within. All the answers are within. And I know this, and I hate to preach it because I still have so many things that I'm working through that I understand are within me that I haven't been able to conquer or move through or integrate yet. But I know, I have faith that it's going to happen. It will work out. I don't know exactly yet. I would love to have that crystal clear vision of the future, but I just have this internal feeling. Just keep going, Evan. Just keep moving in this direction. Keep doing good things. Keep pouring into yourself. Keep developing yourself as a man, and good things will happen. And it's not going to come without a cost or without stress or heartache, but it'll be worth it ultimately. So keep that faith. Keep moving forward. And if you watched this far, appreciate you. Leave a like if you liked it. Leave a comment if you didn't like it, or you did like it, or you want to ask me a question or talk about something. Of course, I'm always here. And subscribe if you haven't. Appreciate you. And I'll see you in the next one. Much love. Bye.